You may have stepped on the scale yesterday hoping for a slight increase in weight after so long, and you realize, even though you've eaten so much yesterday, it's gone down. And you're like, how does that make any sense? Well, that is because weight does not equal muscle. So I have not actually changed weight in years. I've stayed around 62 kg for years. However, my biceps have gotten bigger. I have gotten leaner. My strength has increased. So why does that make sense? I'm going to repeat that again. I have built muscle, meaning I've gotten stronger, but I'm getting leaner. And so these things are outweighing each other. So I gain muscle, but then I lose fat, bringing them both back to the beginning. So I stay at this same level, this same weight for a long period of time. So really, it looks like, if I look at it from like a void perspective, I have not made any progress. Like if I look at it in a vacuum, I've made no progress because I've stayed at this 62 kg. However, if you look at my physique, it has made progress, right? And so sometimes, as I said at the start, I ate a ton and I would lose weight in the morning, right? I would eat a ton last night and then I'd get up, weigh myself, and it stayed the same. Or it's even gone down. I'm like, what the hell? Come on now. Or sometimes I wouldn't eat, like I'd barely eat anything because obviously I wasn't on I didn't have the specific routine that I talk about in these videos now. I didn't understand it. So I would eat less than usual. You know, I didn't drink the correct amount of milk, or I didn't like track this or whatever. And suddenly I've gained weight. I have somehow gained weight when I've eaten less. And I'm like, this is not fair. When I track things, when I don't track things, whatever I do, my weight just changes regardless of how well I do things correctly. And that is because weight equals multiple different things. Weight can equal muscle, it can equal fat, and it can equal water. Your water weight can vastly, vastly, vastly impact your weight. So if you drink 1 bottle of water, that could stay in your system and give you like an extra kilo on the weight scale, right? But if you drink a ton of water, then you flush yourself out because you can't hold on to that water. So you've drank a ton, but suddenly your weight has gone down. And you're like, how does that make any sense? So you can your body can change your weight depending on the day, depending on what you've held on to, what you haven't, what you've like sweating, that can change everything. Right, so it's very important to understand that even though you're gaining weight, it might not be muscle. So when you're trying to bulk, it might not be muscle. You might be gaining fat. If your strength is staying the same while you were in the gym, but you are gaining weight, that means you are just gaining muscle, you are gaining fat, and you don't want that, like visceral fat, right? But weirdly enough, when I started eating the correct foods, animal-based foods, I was losing weight. I actually lost like a kilo or something, but then I'd go back up, then I'd lose a bit, then I'd stay the same. And I was staying around the same 62, 61, 63 kilo area. But I was getting way stronger in the gym. All my lifts were going up, which means I'm gaining strength, right? Which means I'm gaining muscle. But then also at the same time, I was getting leaner. I was looking in the mirror and I was seeing my abs get more defined, but I was gaining strength. And that is because I was gaining muscle and losing fat. So they'd outweigh each other. And that is the most important part. You should not track weight. Do not track weight ever again. Don't use your scale ever again. It is pointless because it is vastly, vastly inaccurate. So instead, how to actually track progress, we want to track our strength in the gym. See if our lifts are going up. I use the app Lift Off. You can use that to track your lifts. And of course, you need to visually analyze yourself and see if you're getting leaner, if you're getting fatter, everything like that. Has your bicep vein appeared yet, right? You need to track these things to understand if you are actually making progress. Unfortunately, it's not like with body fat percentage and stuff, unless you actually get some proper tests. It's not some like statistical data analysis that you can look at compared to a scale. But the scale is very inaccurate, so it's unfair to judge yourself off of that, right? And of course, another way you can do it, the way that you can see if you are actually progressing in the way you are eating, if you're bulking correctly, the expansion of your stomach. So when you eat more food, your stomach expands like this, allowing you to fit more inside of it. Meaning that if you eat a ton and you keep eating and keep eating to bulk, you can see how much your stomach has expanded by how easy the meals are to get down. So if you ate a meal that was previously really difficult to get down because it was really big, like an animal-based meal is like a ton of calories, ton of protein, ton of fat, quite hard to digest, but it is real food, meaning that it's super satiating. You might realize that after a couple of weeks of eating that, it's dead easy, whereas before it was dead hard to get down, right? So that's another metric that you can track, but never, ever, ever track weight again. And don't track calories either, because calories are just as void as weight. Because when you track calories, they just don't apply to the way humans digest food. We digest food chemically. We digest like fiber. We can't digest that. We can't digest gluten and everything. Even like, for example, warm water has more calories than cold water, right? So it's just not fair. It's like an inaccurate measurement of our food. Like even food companies say that like a food could have a 20% margin of error. So if you have like a 500 calorie meal, it could be 600 calories, it could be 700 calories, it could be 800 calories, or it could be 200 calories. They just don't know because you can't accurately track calories because they don't apply to us. Okay, so what you need to do instead is eat real food. Eat animal-based food. Meat, eggs, fruit, dairy, preferably raw. That's my diet. Done. Finished. End of. And I just eat that until I'm fully satiated. Eat the exact same things. Eat like a dog every single day. You have a baseline. Eat that same baseline every single day. If you are gaining strength, keep eating. Stay the same. If you are gaining strength but gaining too much fat, remove something. If you are not gaining strength, if you are not gaining weight at all, I know you shouldn't track it, but if you aren't gaining like anything and you are actually like degress, is that the word? Degressing, like going backwards, backtracking, suddenly you can see you're getting a little bit chubbier and stuff and your strength has gone down, then you need to add something else, right? So when you have this baseline, you can add things and take things away rather than tracking calories because they're just vastly inaccurate. And that is the same as weight. And just quickly, if you want more advanced education on this topic and you want me to be like your personal coach, then this is the program for you. The first link in the description will take you over to the growth effect, where I've put like basically every single piece of knowledge I could possibly think of into this course, into the growth mastery course and the growth accelerator course. And also I have like lots of extra bonuses like the bulking grocery list that I personally use and like a macro tracking sheet so you know exactly what like you are eating and how correctly you are doing everything essentially. And then you have like a community of guys in here who are on the same path, who understand the same things as you, and they will get you to the goals the same way I will. I will help you personally to make the most amount of progress in the fastest amount of time so you don't slip up like me and I got fat and stuff when I wasn't tracking things correctly and I wasn't eating the correct foods. So this is the place where you will actually make phenomenal progress. That is the first link in the description. I will see you over there. Good night.